Hey, welcome into DomTime tonight. An issue that I really think has tremendous traction because most people drive, most people are witnessing red light cameras coming your way where they take the photo and you can get hit with a $100 ticket. We're talking with Andy Hatchadarian. Andy is the editor of the Daily Local News out in Westchester, and Robert Strauss, columnist for the Philadelphia Daily News. And we were talking during the break, guys, the one that bothers me the most is just a few yards, maybe 50 yards or fewer, south of City Hall in downtown Philadelphia. 93 tickets a day that generates. And I would defy that you can't blow through there at all. It's that this little turning right, people get stuck in there, and that red light camera, it just grabs everything that's, it amazes me that people are still caught up in this.
Now, one place I wasn't actually caught. I went through a toll thing on the Atlantic City Expressway, and I put my thing up there, whatever, my Easy Pass, and they caught me. Well, they didn't catch me because it just didn't flash. So it's a similar kind of thing where you haven't done something that you're supposed to do. So I wonder how you defend yourself under these circumstances. Is there any way to defend yourself with a red light camera?
Well, the way you defend yourself is if it's a funeral, for example, and you can prove it's that type of thing. But short of that, I think this is a very, very difficult thing to fight. I don't know if too many people have been successful.
Because, I mean, I've never seen the ticket. I mean, does somebody get a little thing that's
you get a picture.
Flashing?
You get a picture. Oh, you get the picture.
And you get the picture that
There's
it's yellow.
There's Giordano going through, yes.
And then so you get the red light up, okay.
Yeah, and it's like you feel like the felon of the year, around this type of thing. So I have a mental map, and I think most people are doing it. So I concede that's a deterrent effect. But all the studies here locally, even Roosevelt Boulevard, which is, even I'd have to concede, an arguable case of doing something, rear end collisions are way up there.
Oh, really?
So yeah, that's what's going to happen nationally. We've seen this play out. Let's talk to Andy. Have you witnessed any of this? There's a movement now to have speed cameras. This will be the next step along this. And look, we all go over the speed limit. What is it that you should be going over the speed limit? The level of traffic. Usually you get a 5-mile-an-hour cushion, I would say. Maybe a cop's watching would give you a 10-mile-an-hour cushion. That seems reasonable to me.
Well, I mean, we have, as coming toward the borough and generally Chester County, Route 202, which has become a major speedway. The speed limit is posted obviously 55, and there's no one who goes 55. I'm doing 65, 70, maybe above, and people are still, sort of below.
Well, you're a wild guy. You guys are watching this guy. I'm not admitted to this.
With the number of trucks and the way, you have to really keep up with the flow, or you will.
Atlantic City Expressway. When I'm headed down on that is such a great rate. The car just sits on that so beautifully. If you're not going 68 to 70 on that, you shouldn't be on it. It's like the Autobahn. I don't want to go any further than that. How about you, Robert? Is there a place you feel comfortable and you think the speed limit is out of line?
Well, I can't tell you exactly, but what I've always hated, and I remember when I was covering the Phillies once, there was a bridge going from one side of the Tampa Bay to the other, and I can't remember exactly which cities, but it doesn't really matter. But somewhere along there, it went from, let's just say, 50 to 35. And that's clearly a revenue generator because they know you're going 50 to this point.
And my argument would be, and maybe Andy would second this, I see the red light cameras as the new speed trap. We always used to hear speed traps. They got a bad name. There were some decisions against them, et cetera. You got to put a cop there. There's stakeout. It's kind of messy. This, they say, hey, camera doesn't lie.
And you're not looking at personnel and the number of police. You throw the cameras up there. Calibrate them, get them ready to go, flip the switch, and
I would contend that a stoplight does. You got to stop, or you're going to get into an accident. If you're going 50 or 35, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. It's not like another car's coming head on at you, in that sort of zone.
Well, one study that I've seen too, a guy that I have on my radio show, in fact, tomorrow, he went out to this one on Blackwood, Clementon Pike, and he found from the high to the low, the amount of time the yellow light turns, it was 0.41 seconds. Now, as we said at the beginning, a lot of the tickets are a tenth of a second to 2/10 of a second. So if these yellow lights are giving you 0.41, 4/10 of a second difference from sometimes there's this, other times they're low. That's where people are getting tickets. It is true.
I would guess that's the place where the cop himself would just say, if you really blew it, if it really was red, he's going to, nab you.
Discretion, right?
Yeah, but if it's barely yellow and you're halfway through this thing, obviously the cop isn't going to do it.
Exactly. All right, so since we talked about red light cameras, speed traps, et cetera, all right, let's do some good to the viewers here. And I always like to do this when we talk about this. What's your best way of talking your way out of a ticket if you've ever done that?
My best way is not to try. Right?
Well, we know that.
You sit there glumly. The best way, look, I have an 18 or 21-year-old daughter. That's the best way, to have them sitting next to you, you know, like looking like they got to get somewhere.
Well, the attractive female is always first on my list. That's being an attractive female, and you don't have to worry about tickets. I can't imagine a cop going, oh my God, I can't write that. Particularly if they're young and kind of smallish and whatever. What did I do, officer? But Andy, how about you? Because you seem to be out there in Westchester, a lot of action going on.
Well, I'm probably not the best example of a happy motorist when I'm stopped. I've only had 3 moving violations in 40 years. My last episode, though, in Westchester, I did, make the argument at the time of the writing of the ticket that there was just no way there was no way that was a red light.
Here we go.
So I didn't help my
and I am the editor of the Daily Local Times. You'll be in tomorrow's paper.
Right. So getting to court the day of my hearing probably set me up for failure. I mean, the officer did offer me the fine with no points. And
did you get the points too then?
I did. Well, because I turned down the offer because I felt I maintained my innocence, silly me, till the end, and did not only end up with the fine, but also the points. So sometimes it's
don't listen to this man. Listen to this man. I concur with you. Sit there, officer.
I agree with Robert.
And if he says anything, I know, I shouldn't have done it, etc. Throw yourself on the mercy of the court.
Have your stuff all ready to give them, so you're really compliant.
Yeah, you're really compliant and do that. And again, if you're an attractive female, don't listen to the last part. Robert, thanks for joining us again tonight on DomTime. Andy, thank you very much. Stay out of trouble. All right, coming up, my 1 minute, tomorrow is the commemoration of 9/11, but something else happened a year ago that I want to mention to you to be thinking about tomorrow. Straight ahead on DomTime. Hey everyone, tomorrow, of course, we commemorate 9/11, the brave people who died that day, those that tried to rescue them, and as time passes on, it becomes more difficult to commemorate each year, to remember, and to remember that as vividly as we'd like. But tomorrow is also the first anniversary of the killing of our ambassador and 3 others in Benghazi. I know that my listeners, and I hope you are aware of that, the media doesn't seem to talk about it enough, and still there's tremendous unanswered questions. Why did we not come to the rescue of these brave people in Benghazi? Press for answers. We need to know what happened to them and why it happened to them. Tomorrow is definitely a day to remember. Thanks for watching DomTime.